everybody.
Hello, welcome in. We are together once again. Feels amazing. Thanks for joining in.
So this week we're talking all about vibrations, and we've actually got Cacao with us.
Yes, we're doing a little snack time. So if you have chocolate or cacao in your household or nearby, you might take a pause to this video and go get it so you can enjoy some cacao with us as we have our cacao chat.
It's very heart-opening and just brings joy in our lives. So
yeah, I mean, chocolate brings joy and raises the vibe all the time in every situation. And let's just show them what we're eating. So this is a honey mama. Oh, and it's mint flavored.
it's got peppermint in it. It's my favorite.
Yeah, she's all about her honey mamas. I love them too.
I do. So it's a little cold.
Yeah, I'm trying to break it over here. There we go. All right, vibrations. Let me take a little bite to raise the vibe just even more before we begin.
This is fun.
It's so good. I would just get on this and eat chocolate all day if you guys like that. Let me
I know. We should do more cacao chats together. Live in person.
So we can just eat more chocolate. Have another reason to eat chocolate.
All right. So welcome home.
Thank you. It feels good to be home and back with you.
We're so happy to have you back.
Oh, that's so sweet. It feels good to be back.
So I know that you, on your journey to Tulum, you brought this theme to us and to Cacao for this week. So do you want to talk a little bit on what inspired this theme of the week?
Yeah, absolutely. So I just went to Tulum, Mexico, and I had this incredible experience and opportunity to work with my past work team when I was living in New York. And going into this opportunity, first the opportunity was presented to me, and I was so grateful to begin with. I was so excited about it. So those vibrations and those emotions, I kind of started this opportunity in the journey in that high vibe, because gratitude is one of the highest vibrations that we can tap into.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to Tulum, you may know it's super magical and it's a very high vibe place. It's considered a high vibe vortex. And you can really feel it when you enter Tulum. So I was very inspired by all of the good vibes there and by all of the people there, the places and the foods that were just, everything is so high vibe there. So I just really noticed, a shift in vibrations from maybe this fear place that a lot of people may be experiencing here with this past year of the pandemic, and then stepping into Tulum, this super high vibe place where everyone was vibrating at a higher frequency and letting love lead the way and gratitude rather than fear.
Wow. I love that. Really letting love lead the way, because I think that so often when we talk on this topic of vibrations and how it makes an impact, I know that when I'm in a state that's of a lower vibration, it's because love is not leading the way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's often because I'm forgetting to incorporate some sort of gratitude in practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't see all in my life that I have so much to be grateful for.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that you were able to have that experience where you really stepped away and were just bathed in that for 10 days straight.
Yeah, it was wow, it was an overdose on good vibes. And that leads me to share that it may be important or useful to take a look and just notice if something is high vibe or low vibe. And with that, something high vibe feels amazing. It feels fun, and you smile and you laugh and you dance, and you know what your own version of a good vibes feels like. Or if a person, a place, an experience may feel low vibe. So I think that might be the starting point of learning how to live in a high vibe space or come from a high vibe space, is to learn and indicate what's low vibe to you.
Yeah. So in our to begin again workshop, there we go. You create a list, which I think is a really important practice for us all to do. Multiple times throughout the year, whenever you feel like you need to begin again, or you're feeling called to, but is to create a list of what feels high vibration, what is raising your energy, or what is lower vibration, what's depleting that energy, or taking you away from like feeling closer to love.
Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And yeah, that list is so incredible. Taking time to sit with your journal and looking at your daily life. It could be anything from what raises your vibe. So for me, it's my morning routine. And my whole morning routine, it's full of everything that raises my vibe so I can set the rest of my day up at a high vibe. So that looks like making my bed, drinking water, moving my body, meditating, maybe pulling a card, connecting with myself, and washing my face, giving myself love. And once I've done all of that, it's just like I'm starting my day with a high vibe.
Yeah, people talk so much on the importance of morning routines. And it is key because you feel like you've already won the day.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people talk about make your bed every day because that's one thing that you can accomplish before starting anything else. So that, to me, that's a high vibe activity because you've already accomplished something.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a huge fan. For me, one of the biggest things for me is when I watch the sunrise in the morning. That's a big example of like a high vibe activity that I do in the mornings. And making coffee or whatever drink I'm making, or mud. And so that whole process, and of course sitting time on the cushion, because that allows me to connect with myself and make that the priority before I head into the day, where I can lose that sense of like connection with myself. And so those are all really big. And I think acknowledging too that we're gonna have your high vibe and like low vibe list, what raises your energy and what depletes it, is gonna look different for all of us. Like I think that you have a really unique activity that raises your vibration.
Yeah, and I shared that with her and she was like, whoa. One thing that I can do immediately that immediately raises my vibe is watering my plants. So if I feel like stuck or stagnant in energy, I get up and I water my plants, and you guys, it makes me feel amazing. It really does, because I'm mothering something and I'm nurturing something and I'm basically giving something life, you know? So that's something that I do. And I started noticing the energy shift in that a couple months ago. And I was like, wait, did that just raise my vibe? And it did. So go water your plants. Let me know how many vibes your vibes raised.
There you go. So something that we always like to touch on in these talks is the theme of the week in relationship to on the mat, off the mat, and on the plate.
Yes. So let's begin on the mat. So for me, what raises my vibe on the mat might not always be a vigorous practice. And I've learned that throughout the years because my yoga practice started power flow, detox flow, hot yoga. And as I've blossomed with my practice, I'd like to check in with myself and ask myself what I need that day. And that might be a yin practice, and the yin practice might raise my vibration. So I think whatever I feel that I need is what raises my vibration on the mat. What would you say?
Yeah, you make a really good point there. I always think that, so for me, I can categorize my practice into a few different elements. It's more of a detox power flow can sometimes raise my vibration because that's what I need to move that energy in and through and ultimately out of my body. Sometimes I need a more grounding practice because I've had a bit of a crazy day, and coming back into my body can really raise my vibration, make me feel at home. And sometimes it's just a complete like playful flow, where I'm playing around with handstands, like I'm playing around with inversions. I'm doing heart openers, which are huge for me. So yeah, it's me, and throwing on music can always add to your practice in so many different ways.
Yes, absolutely. That's really important. Setting the vibe around yourself to raise the vibe. So like you said, music, candles, essential oils. And it's important to set up those things after you roll out your mat so that you can have a better experience and make it a sacred practice as you do move through it, because your surroundings, people, places, those all have an impact on your vibe. Everything has an impact on your vibe, right? Everything vibrates at a frequency. So a person vibrates at a frequency. So you can try to understand where your vibration is or where somebody else's vibration is, because you can kind of spread that vibration. So if you're not vibrating high, it may serve you to step back and raise your vibe before you jump into an experience with somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. And it can take as little as like a 5 to 10 minute flow, just moving through different sun salutations. And then all of a sudden I can step back into whatever I'm doing. And that's the grateful thing about working from home right now, which I am grateful for. Because I can take 10 minutes on my mat and then reapproach what I'm doing.
From a higher state.
Yeah. And then if you can, like, taking that 60 minutes or 45 minutes for a practice is important. And it feels so good because it'll carry with you into whatever else you're going into.
Exactly. And keeping that practice daily. So learning what raises your vibe and doing it over and over and over again, and making sure that you're taking the time and energy to incorporate that into your daily routine so that you stay on that level, because you know what practices keep you there. So you have to continue to go back to those practices and keep them as a consistent part of your routine.
Yeah. So you ready to shift to, I know we've touched on it a little bit, but are you ready to shift to off the mat? What do you think would probably be like 3 or so of your favorite practices?
Yeah, so I love watering my plants and I love going outside, and that's been a huge thing that's raised my vibe, especially as we work from home. That first sip of fresh air, being in nature, taking my beautiful little doggy on a walk, because that's also taking care of him. So that's something that really raises my vibe, is taking care of other, I guess, plants, other beings, my dog, my husband. I love cooking for him. I love cooking in general, really connecting with the foods that I'm putting into my body. So we'll touch on the plate situation, but what I put into my body, that really affects my vibration. So knowing that I'm nourishing my body also is a big one for me.
Yeah, I love that. And I can definitely resonate with all 3 of those. For me, what really comes to mind right off the top of my head is movement. That's key for me. I've been a huge, not only power flow type person, but also dance has become a big practice, and how I can create that more in my practice. So that's huge. Music can make a big shift in raising my vibration.
So true. I'm just going to interrupt. Last night I was cooking a beautiful Mexican tacos that I was inspired by in Tulum, and I put on Drake, and it was so fun. I was dancing around. I was like, Drake music is really good. I hadn't listened to him in a while, and Spencer came home and he was like, what are you doing? And I was dancing around, and it improved the experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing that just by turning on something so simple like that, you're a whole different person.
You really are. Yeah, absolutely.
And then this isn't exactly yoga-ish. We've all talked about, of course, what we do with yoga in terms of breath work, meditation, and the physical asanas, but also comedy raises my vibration.
Laughing, you're right. That is super high vibe.
So that's one of my favorite. Those are just a few of my favorite things.
I love that so much. Yeah, laughing every day, good vibes only. That's beautiful. And let's shift to one of my favorite topics, vibes on a plate. So your food has vibrations. Who's cooking your food has a vibration. So whether it's you or if you're at a restaurant, the chef has a vibration that he or she is putting into that meal. If you're at a restaurant, the server has a vibration, the plate, the fork, the knife, everything, the whole experience. So the highest vibration foods are obviously plants, and so vegetables and fruits, because they're living and they have so many nutrients and antioxidants and vitamins and minerals that our bodies love. And if you'd like to learn more about that, we have a lot of that stuff on our page, and we have a whole blog post on all of that. Let me know. But yeah, blueberries are very high vibe. So if you take anything away from this, go get yourself a big thing of blueberries and eat them all day and raise your vibe by that. And then I'll touch on animals and animal products that are dead and may not have had the best life experience. So I'm not going to go too far into that, but just be curious and think about the vibration that those products may have and how they affect your body when you put them into it.
So this is a big thing that we learned about, and it's ultimately what really drew Jade and I to the yoga teacher training that we did, is this practice of ahimsa. And we've touched on it in multiple different talks. It's a big part of everything that we do. But it's this whole concept of nonviolence, and even going further, but like having the awareness, because so often we just move through life without the awareness. And I know the focus is on vibrations, but when you can have a better understanding of where things have come from that have ended up on your plate, it makes a difference in then what you're putting into your body. And you can actually have that high vibrational experience of like feeling grateful for the farmers that then like grew like the fruits and vegetables that then ended up on your plate, and love that was like put into it. And it just, all of a sudden, like you're getting, not only are you getting the nutrients from these fruits and vegetables, but you're getting that like love, and like we can go, but they've done all these different studies on even like the impact, like not only of food, but like in water.
Oh yeah, we talked to Ciara about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's on one of our Cacao chats, so go back to that one. That's beautiful. And there's also something to be said about nourishing your body with a healthy meal. That's very simple to understand and to think about. How you feel after a nice, healthy, nourishing salad versus how you feel after maybe something that's not so healthy or nourishing or vitamin and mineral rich. So there's something to be said about your mood and how you're taking care of your body when you're putting that. So that choice, choosing to have that plant-based dish over maybe another one that's not so healthy, and that raises your vibe because that's a choice that you're making for your body, that you're taking care of yourself.
And you'll see all of this ripple out, not only in anything that we've touched on, but really this in particular. You're gonna see it ripple out in like your mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. And it's just, we've seen the positive impacts. I wasn't always plant-based, but now I am, and it's beautiful. It's shifted my relationship with food. Yeah, and we need food and water to survive, so
that's so true.
It's so important to have that conscious awareness around it.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing. So starting with the physical body and the places and the things that you surround yourself with, even scrolling on the phone and a digital detox may serve you to raise your vibe a little bit, because social media doesn't always, it can be high vibe if it gives you inspiration and connects you with your friends and your family. It's all about your relationship with it and how your energy shifts when you're on it, and noticing, how long you're on it. So that also may raise your vibe if you take a little break from the phone.
And with that being said,
we're gonna get off the screen.
I was gonna say, do you have anything else you want to touch on? I think it'd be nice to wrap this up. You were sharing the story just about how when you came back from Tulum, because I was like, what made it so high vibe? And you shared with me a little bit just about the gratitude that people had for like the simplicity of their work.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The gratitude is one of the most high vibe energies and emotions that you can tap into. So I did notice there that a lot of the humans and the workers, they were living in such gratitude. And you can tell if somebody's high vibe or low vibe, right? You can tell if somebody's in a good mood or a bad mood. And, a good mood would be associated with good vibes, and a bad mood may be associated with bad vibes or lower vibes. And I just noticed everyone there, the workers, the people who were dancing and playing music, and everyone was just in such gratitude. So that really inspired me. Just a super high vibe experience. So I hope that in any way you can create your own high vibe experience, whether that's traveling, and I know that may be difficult at these times, or taking an evening to yourself, doing a yoga class. We would love to inspire you to do something like that for yourself today or tonight or tomorrow.
And also, we're always here. Our lines are always open. We've got our Cacao Conscious Collective, where there's always questions being asked, and we're always sharing in there. So if you all ever have any questions, suggestions, for us on this topic or on plant-based nutrition or on yoga, meditation, all the things, send us a message.
Yeah, beautiful. And we share all of these high vibe practices that help us raise our vibe. So yoga, meditation, sound baths, wellness, plant-based nutrition. So proven with this, so between us. So that's what we share, and we hope that this served you.
With love.